What's up, guys? We're TK Disc Golf. Today I've got the new Electron Ions, and man, I'm super excited for these, especially right now when it's winter here in Ohio. So these grippy baseline putters are going to be absolutely fantastic to try out today. We got a blue one, which is a 169 gram. We got a white one, it's a 171, and then the purple one's a 173 gram. Now these putters are super grippy. They feel awesome in this colder weather we have. The blue and the white one are their medium slash slightly stiff plastic, which feels pretty good for the people that like the harder plastics. And then they've got the soft, which is my personal favorite, and it's obviously super gummy, and it seems to have a little bit more grip just because it's the softer type plastic. And also for comparison purposes, we decided to bring in a soft neutron ion and a standard normal neutron ion. Both of these I've had for about 3 years or so now, and we wanted to compare their wing shapes compared to the new electron ions. And out of no surprise at all, if you sit there and look at this, bam, they're identical. It doesn't surprise me. MVP's super consistent with their transitions between different plastics and stuff like that. Their molds don't change. There's no like wing shape change in the PLH or anything. MVP is always super consistent about that, and that's part of the reason I love throwing their discs. So we're gonna get into a little bit of the throwing. Recorded lots of good video for you guys to show how they fly at different powers, different releases, and then also comparing the changes in weight also. All right, to start off, we're sitting there throwing them on slight little bit of hyzers. Obviously, that 169 blue one sat there and it has a little bit of turn to it, whereas you sit there and compare it to this 171 white one, it just goes a lot straighter when you release it on a small hyzer. And then after that, we sit there and through a soft neutron ion, a slight hyzer, it goes dead straight and then has a little bit more fade at the end. For some reason, the soft neutron, for me, my experience, has always been a little bit more stable than any of my other ions. And this one right here is just a standard neutron, just goes dead straight with a little fade. Here we're throwing them on a little bit of an anhyzer. This is the 171 gram, and it obviously holds it, and boom, hits the ground perfectly flat. Obviously, I love the ions for these anhyzer type shots because they hold them so well. This is the soft neutron, and it flies just like that. And then for this shot, we just set the basket up about 100 feet for some upshot practice. Really enjoyed it. All 3 different weights were pretty much flying identical, except for the blue one, as you can see here, had a little bit more glide, so it would kind of shoot past the basket a little bit more than the other ones. But we really weren't throwing them that hard. It was only about 100 feet, so just give it a little hyzer, they'll go straight, and then they'll fade towards the basket towards the end of their flight. So it's a nice overstable putter. Really enjoyed throwing them for that. And also, for putting, it's kind of hard to get video of it just because there's so many different techniques and styles of putting, so I can't really show examples of all those. But back in the day, I actually used to putt with the soft neutron ion, but unfortunately, they became too expensive to replace, and their grip when they're wet is not as great. So when the Electron Atom came out, I switched to that just because during the cold winter months, it's a little bit easier to grip those. But now that they have the Electron Ion out, I'm actually considering jumping back to those. So on the release day, I'm going to grab a small stack of them to putt around with them, see if I like them. But anyway, back to the actual video of us throwing. So here, this was probably my favorite shot we had set up all day. The water was only about, let's say, 100 feet or something like that, and the basket was another 100, 150 feet past the water's edge that you can see there. It was my favorite shot just because I love open shots where I can really throw them a little bit higher and just rip into them a little bit more. And these next 2 shots here, I decided I was going to throw them about 60% power and a little bit hyzer. Obviously, they didn't make it all the way to the basket, but both consistently landed within like a couple feet of each other. So that really just goes to show that both putters are made for consistency, and basically all of MVP's discs do that. And I didn't get a chance to throw this shot. It was Tyler's idea to do it. So he set the basket up down towards the water. Obviously, there was the pine tree kind of using as a guardian tree to keep it from going back into the water. But really, it was a short little 200-foot downhill shot. And just throwing them 50% power, and their glide just gets them all the way to the basket. Wasn't throwing them that high, wasn't throwing them that hard. They just sit there and glide and then scoot all the way up to the basket. Then for these last set of shots we decided to throw some forehand shots in here just because I know a lot of people like to see those. Didn't get a chance to throw full power drives, but we decided to throw in some approach shots and stuff like that just because it's easier to control putters on the shorter shots, whereas if you're throwing them trying to get distance out of a putter on a forehand, it's a little bit harder. But yeah, it's really cool to see how the different weights fly. Obviously, the purple one flies a little bit straighter, and it fades because it's the heavier weight, and then you sit there and throw the blue one, and it actually has a little bit of turn to it, so it's really neat to see that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video was a good representation of what the Electron Ions will be flying like for you. Don't forget to subscribe because there's a lot of new products coming out from MVP this year, and I'd hate for you guys to miss one of our videos on the reviews. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.